Welcome to the Manifesting Doll podcast. I'm Barbara Orban from No Diet Babe. I'm a spiritual mindset coach and weight loss expert. If you are a spiritual babe wanting to up-level your life around your body, health, wellness, spirituality, law of attraction and manifestation, then this is the podcast for you. I'm here to give you the tools, teachings, and strategies to manifest the body and life of your dreams. As spiritual babes, we know to focus on love as opposed to fear. So get ready to learn how to implement spiritual teachings to weight loss, wellness, and your daily life, coming from a place of love and abundance. This is a celebration of how we can shift our inner perception of ourselves and watch our outer selves shift. You can become the best version of yourself, and I'm here to help. So let's get started. Hey babes, welcome to the Manifesting Doll podcast. I'm Barbara Orban from NoDietBabe.com, and welcome to today's episode. Today's episode is going to be about getting a revenge body. So I'm going to talk to you about that today. Super excited to talk about this topic. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that I currently have a one-on-one coaching spot available. And I'm really excited about one-on-one coaching because I absolutely love seeing the transformation that people can get in 3 months. It's such a rewarding thing for both myself and my clients to see them transform. I'm absolutely in love with the transformation that my most recent client had, where when she came to me, she felt clueless and just so powerless. She was binge eating, she was at her heaviest, and the pressure was really on to lose the weight because she actually had reasons that a lot of people will not feel this type of pressure, and she had a lot of reasons that she had to lose the weight. And she did it. So she actually got to her goal measurements within the 3 months. It was done in a very aligned way where she felt fantastic, didn't feel deprived. And yeah, I want that for you as well. So if you feel called to work with me on a one-on-one basis where you get to speak to me daily via Voxer voice support and weekly sessions, then let me know via email, hello@nodietbabe.com or Instagram DM. So this spot will be taken very soon. So if you want to work with me, don't hesitate, okay? Let me know. I'm excited to talk to you. So anyway, you guys, today's episode is about wanting to lose weight for a revenge body. And the reason why I want to talk about this today is because I've noticed this in my life. I've noticed people talking about this. I've noticed this coming up for people. And yeah, I really want to talk about this and how I've had this come up in my life a long time ago as well. And basically, yeah, what I'm always talking about is the energy. And I can really feel into people's energies around weight and food. And I continue to do it for myself as well, because that's what keeps me in alignment around food and weight, is the energy work, right? So I'm always about energy work. Energy work is the foundation of what you create in your reality. And it's definitely worth looking into if you're looking to change any aspect of your life. So anyway, back to the topic, which is wanting to get a revenge body. So when this usually comes about is, let's just say like a former boyfriend or like a love interest of any sex has said something to you about your weight at some point in your life, okay? Or let's say it's been a family member or a friend. At some point in your life, I'm pretty sure every single person at some point in their life has had a negative remark about their body in some way, shape, or form. Pretty much like if you're listening, that's probably happened to you, right? Where somebody said something to you. Like I've been called fat or been told that I'm gaining weight like multiple times in my life, right? And that's been a root of many issues in my subconscious that I had to work through. But it's like it would have happened to you, right? It's somewhere on your mind. Or if it hasn't happened to you, there is some part of you that has that belief of people accept me when I look good. Okay, so it's this acceptance thing. It's this validation that we're seeking by being attractive and looking good. Okay, so let's talk about that, because on the one hand, it's like it's not bad to want to lose weight, okay? So that's one thing that I just want to clear up. It's not bad to want to lose weight. You're allowed to have a desire to want to look a certain way. I am one of those people that thinks that you can have body positivity and simultaneously want to lose weight. I think that if you're body positive and you think that you can't, that if you think that being body positive means that you shouldn't want to lose weight or wanting to lose weight is bad, it means that you associate weight loss with some negative emotions and resistance, okay? So you can have body acceptance and simultaneously want to lose weight. It's understanding the paradox of the mind and how you can simultaneously focus on, it's all about whether you're focusing on desire, positive emotions, or lack and negative emotions, right? So if you're body positive because focusing on weight loss makes you feel bad, then it's either you want to, continue to focus on the body positive, which there's nothing wrong with that, because maybe you need to stay where you're at right now and focus on feeling good, because you've got a predominant, you've had lots of negative emotions and resistance in your life, and the focus right now needs to be going general and just enjoying yourself, which is totally fine. I've been there. Or it means actually when you're in a good place or good enough place, you can look at the triggers and look at the dieting trauma, look at the weight loss trauma, and look at the set of beliefs that you have about it, and then work through there. So there's no one size fits all or right or wrong way. What I want to just say is that I just want you to expand your mind and see that at the end of the day, we want to feel good. Okay, we want to feel good. And some people, the thought of having to accept themselves at their heaviest doesn't feel good. And my answer to that is you're still going to have to accept where you are to some certain extent, because the first step of change is always going to be acknowledging where you are. And you have to clear up the energy, because you can't resist where you are and move forward. It's like a GPS. You always have to know the little dot has to appear where you are, right? In order to get to know how to get to your destination, you need to know where you're at. There has to be a level of acceptance, right, in order to lose weight. But you also, if you're then feeling like, oh my God, there's all this self-defeating powerless energy of I'll never lose weight because it's not possible for me, or it's not possible for me to lose weight without feeling deprived, etc., then that's not good either. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. That's a completely different topic, which is for another episode, because it's more about if you kind of get this thought in your head of, I'm going to show that person through my body that they made a mistake. And this is a common thing. I've done this before where it's dress up really hot, and then you'll make him regret not being with you. You'll make him regret stuffing you around. You'll make him regret not wanting to take things further, whatever. And it's like, I've done this before. So like I'm calling myself out too. You know what I mean? Like this energy of, like they made a mistake. They made a mistake and I want them to suffer. Like I want to make them feel bad for whatever reason. And where's that coming from though? It's like resentment energy. But it's like, for me, it's sometimes been like a resentment in general, like resentment in general of men or resentment of people in general for certain things. And what you want to look at is for like just forgiving yourself and others, forgiving the people that have body shamed you, forgiving like boyfriends in the past that commented negatively on your body, forgiving family members that make you feel pressure to lose weight. All of this, like you have to forgive that, because you can't set a goal for reasons other than for yourself. Like if you're setting a goal to lose weight, to prove people wrong, it's just not a sustainable energy. It's not, because it's not coming from your soul, like higher self. It's coming from ego. Trust me, because like I remember years ago trying so, like it's literally in my journals, like I was looking back in my journals and I was like writing this stuff of like I was just rambling in my journal, right? And I was just like, this is like going back, I don't know how many years ago, but I was just like, I can't seem to figure out why it is that when I have a boyfriend, I'm able to lose weight, or whenever I have like a love interest, like it keeps me accountable. It keeps me like wanting to look good, or, you know, and then when I'm alone, I get depressed and then I eat and then I gain weight. And I was like, I just don't get it. I'm like, do I just need to like always have a boyfriend? I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense, because then when I get comfortable in a relationship, the same thing happens. And then I'm like, so what is it then? What is the answer? And I'm like trying to figure out how to get myself motivated, you know? Whereas now I'm like, oh my God, like it's so obvious. I'm like, guys, it's so obvious. Like it's an energy thing. Anyway, so yeah, pretty much the advice I have for you is like, number one, it's always an energy shift. Like I said, it's always going to be an energy shift in order to get yourself in alignment, to gain, like what you actually need with anything is that clarity of like, this is what I'm doing and I do it and it's done and I've succeeded and it's there and I'm like, it's sustainable and that's who I am and it's like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like that's really what we're looking for, is that energy. And then when we want this revenge body, where is it stemming from? It's stemming from like a need to prove something. It's like resentment vibes. It's like, I want to make other people feel bad. I want them to know that they missed out. It's all stemming from ego, right? It's all about wanting to gain validation, wanting to prove something. Then what tends to happen is you might feel euphoria, or you've lost weight before and experienced that euphoria of that validation. You know, I know that feeling too, like when you've lost weight and everybody's like, oh my God, you look amazing. Or like suddenly you just start getting so much interest from people, you know, whoever is your love interest, like you start getting so much interest. And it's that euphoria. And then you place so much meaning on it being about the weight loss, whereas all along it was just your energy and your vibe during that time. And then when you've gained weight, you've lost that energetic vibe. You've lost that same feeling of feeling good enough, right? Now, when things are based in ego like that, it's never sustainable. It's never been sustainable for me to want something out of spite, you know, something out of spite, doing something out of spite. Why? Like, I don't get spite. I mean, I've never understood spite, to be honest, because I've just never been a vengeful type person, a spiteful person. I don't think so. Like, I'm not perfect, obviously, But overall, as a whole, like I just don't really resonate with being spiteful, because it's like, I don't want to make others feel bad, right? So why would you want to make others feel bad? That's the first thing to ask yourself. Like, why do you want that person to regret what they did, like through your body? You know what I mean? Like, why? Like, is it because you don't believe you can have what you want? So then, like, you're just placing a lot of weight on that one person, like that one person being the source of what you can have, you know? So this is obviously a layered topic. Like, there's so many things to it. But what I really just need people to understand, and what I have to get across, is that in order to lose weight and keep it off, you have to know why you want to do it. And I've been in that situation where I've been told that I'm gaining weight, and then I've said, I'll show you, I'm going to get so skinny and you're going to regret saying that. This is going back to teenager self. It's like, I'm going to hurt myself so bad that you're going to regret saying that because you've hurt me, and I'm going to show you that how much you hurt me. And that resistant energy just created more problems. Like, I would binge and gain more, which then I'd get frustrated with myself, and it's like, oh my God, I can't even do this properly. Like, oh. Anyway, I guess like it's like a self-harming type attitude. It's like, oh my God, I can't even do that properly. Like, I can't even harm myself properly. It's like, well, you're still harming yourself. It's just manifesting in a different way. Like, it's the weight gain, it's the overeating, it's et cetera, like the self-punishment, right? But it's just not, none of it is going to make you feel good. None of it is going to make you feel good long term, because it's not coming from soul. It's not coming from higher self. It's coming from ego. It's seeking type energy. It's seeking behavior. It's out of alignment, you guys. It's completely out of alignment. So if you're doing this, first of all, I want you to just forgive yourself, right? And don't hold any shame or judgment around it, because we've all been there. Like, we've all practiced something and it's not been the best, okay? I'm putting my hand up here, okay? We've all practiced something that we're not proud of, or, you know, getting called out on something that's like, oh my God, like, why am I doing this? So don't have any shame around it. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge others. It's completely fine, okay? But step number 2 is to just go, okay, so this is not a sustainable energy. And in order for me to lose weight, I need to pick something that's deep-rooted in soul, because deep-rooted why, like your why, a deep-rooted why is going to lead to sustainability, okay? And when it comes to weight loss, there's no quick fix, you guys. Your why needs to be sustainable, because once you lose the weight, those of you that have lost weight before, you'll know that that's like half the battle. Losing weight is one thing, keeping it off is another. I've lost weight multiple times, and it is only now for the last 5 years that I've actually maintained my weight for the first time in my life, like since I was basically a child. I've always been a yo-yo person, and I'm talking like yo-yo meaning like 5 to 10 kilos or more. And there are lots of people that'll be like, hey, I just lost 20 kilos. Cool, good for you. But where are you going to be in a year? Where are you going to be in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Are you going to be losing that same 20 kilos again? Because if so, there's really no point to what you've just done. Like, people might ask you for advice. People might follow your advice. But are you ultimately, is that ultimately the solution? Because I don't see it. I don't see that, because I see it all the time. And then people get all excited, like, how did you do it? I'm going to do that too. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm just like, it's just not, what are you doing? Like, it's just not, you're missing the point kind of thing, you know? And I say this with love because I just want you guys to see that you don't have to keep suffering. Like, you don't have to keep yo-yoing. It doesn't have to be that hard, but you really have to learn to connect to the things that you're avoiding, to the things that you're not facing in your energy, right? And going at it from an energy of spite or wanting to get revenge is generally short-lived. It's not a sustainable energy to want to keep the weight off, because you're eventually going to get to a point where it's not worth it. It's not worth it to sacrifice and push yourself to maintain a body out of spite. It's not. And it'll feel like pushing because you haven't dealt with the beliefs that of why you can't think that you can just maintain that level of ease and flow and like have a body like that naturally. Like you believe that you have to push yourself in order to get there. And the thing that I love about Abraham Hicks, I just want to read you something that I took as notes from Abraham Hicks that have really helped me. So the notion of will. So what we're talking about is like willpower. So the notion of will, and I wrote this like directly from Abraham Hicks. The notion of will, without calling it will, because the word will like conjures up all kinds of things. Instead, we want to call it focus. So then she said, sometimes your beliefs are your point of focus, and sometimes your desires are your point of focus. And what makes people use the word will is when those two are not compatible. So it feels like they have to garner strength and use their will and be determined and use effort in order to get what they want. All right. So that's why a lot of people say willpower when it comes to food, because it's that they feel like they have to garner strength in order, like the strength to say no. Okay, the strength to say no to foods, the strength to go to the gym, the strength, and that's willpower. But I don't believe that that's the way to have sustainable weight. That's why people believe that in order to look, like people get triggered. I've been told that people get triggered when they see me teaching about weight loss because they go, oh, she's skinny, she must be depriving herself. And I'm like, that's a reflection of your beliefs. That's not my reality. That's your reality. You're projecting that onto me, right? So, and it's because of your belief system, because in like that, what I just said, sometimes your beliefs are your point of focus, sometimes your desires are your point of focus. Okay. So it's like your limiting belief about your weight, like, and what's required. All right. Now, coming back to like that revenge body, it tells me a lot about your set point energy. Okay. Because your set point energy is, I'm not good enough. And then it's like, but if I get a body that's good enough, then that person will regret whatever, because I'll then be good enough because of the body. Okay. So, but then that's not sustainable because the set point is I'm not good enough because of my body. Right. So instead of working on that, they work on the physical, and it's like, let me just garner enough strength to get this revenge body in order to get payback, to make them feel bad. So therefore I'll feel better. Okay. I'll feel better for the way that they hurt me and the way that I feel rejected. All right. So it's okay. It's okay. All right. It's okay if you're doing this, like, don't worry about it, but just try and see the deeper stuff here, the deeper layers, and what you actually have to work on here. Okay. Because it doesn't mean I want you to be happy at the end of the day. And I think that you want to feel good in your body. Like, I'm not perfect by all means, but I like to think that I have this certain level of like confidence around my body, and I just think, yeah, I look good. Like, I look good. I feel good. I don't feel deprived. I feel satisfied around food. I feel unlimited in my choices. I know that it doesn't matter what circumstance you throw at me, that I'll know what to do. And I know that it's stable. It feels really solid. And I like that feeling because I hated that sense of fragility around my weight and food. Okay? So I want that for you too. And I don't want you to be that person who places so much of your self-worth on your body, number one, but also so much fluctuation. And instead of working on your set point of how easy it could be to just like be the person that you want to be, you're going about it in the wrong ways. I know that if I get motivated enough, I'll lose the weight. And I'll get motivated if I have to prove someone else wrong, or I have to show them, like, they told me I'm fat, I'll show them. Like, I'll prove to them that they're wrong. I'll prove to them so that they regret it, so that they feel bad. Okay? And instead, I want you to just forgive and know that resentment or spitefulness or any of that is not how you want to get to where you want to be ultimately with your body. Okay? Clear the energy. It's all about love. Okay? Anyway, you guys, I hope that was helpful for you today. Hopefully that helps you redirect your focus a little bit with weight loss and the reasons why you want to lose weight. And yeah, let me know about the one-on-one spot. Like I said, you want to get onto this quickly because I've only got one spot available. And yeah, I'm ready for that person to make a huge transformation in their life. So love you guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you loved this episode, I'd love for you to leave me an iTunes review. Don't forget to follow this podcast for more uplifting teachings to come. For more tips, inspiration, and teachings, come follow me on Instagram at NoDietBabe, or check out my website, NoDietBabe.com. Until I see you next time, babes, lots of love.